Just getting ready to head out there. Got the snowmobile kind of set up and hooking up a sleigh. Gonna do my quick loop here, see how things are going. Check out for the wolves where we caught the black one. Drop off some coyote carcasses there for bait. Keep the birds active. Bought some fur yesterday there at Trapper Gourds. Met a few other trappers and stuff like that. Pretty slow this year. Partly my fault there too for not getting advertised soon enough. But it is what it is. And yeah, I had a good visit with Gordy and chatted a bit and made plans for my next stop there. And next weekend heading up to High Level to buy some fur and hopefully pick up some wolverines and some big wolves. But maybe if you guys are interested, let me know and we can post a couple videos on that and go from there. But anyways, heading out the door and we'll see you in a bit. Here's the new sled. Had a request to kind of go through the sled in the box. I'll do that another video. Some bait there, some ribs, some coyotes, and there's the old sled we used to ride. A little bit of a difference there. Still like the old one, just a 2-cycle exhaust. Gets too much there when you got it in a trailer and you got to haul it around. But sharp looking unit, goes good. We'll give you a review here in a little bit. Got to get some more miles on it before I can be honest about it. All right, catch you down the road. You can see one of my Martin boxes is knocked over there, so we'll get in and see what we can see here. Hard to tell, the tracks are all gone, but over here it looks like Fisher tracks. I'm not all sure the whole story. Right here's Fisher tracks. And not sure how it got caught, but it scratched up the tree a little bit. We'll went around the branch. And yeah, what we'll do is kind of look for some fur here, see if our bait's still in the box. But it looks like a Fisher got caught. It's just a bigger track and it might bounce out here, which is all right because I'm the resident trapper's license there. I'm not supposed to catch. There we go. There's a track again. Not supposed to catch Fisher, so. All right, all these knocked down branches are for me when I set it up, but we'll tune her back up and you can see some Fisher hair in the snow there. So bait's still there. All I have to do is hang the box up, I guess. All right, take care of that. That definitely doesn't happen very often, but it does look like there's a Fisher hair in there. Once you have a Fisher, yeah, generally or any animal in the bill aisle, they don't get out, that's for sure. So we'll have to just maybe put the trigger on the other side, make sure it fires a little bit later. And I'm just gonna look for my pins here, see if I can find them in the snow. There's one pin. We've seen it. The other one should be here, so there's the other one right there. That's why you paint them orange so they stand out. So I checked the other Martin boxes. There's 5 along the strip there. Nothing, except for that one fish that got away. But I explained that one a little bit. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but there's lynx tracks coming in. Taking a look at it, and it walks in, walks over here, kind of walks around. There's also rabbit tracks here, kind of walks around the back here and walks back out. Something bigger came running through here, could have been a coyote or something, but yeah, surprised that We haven't caught no weasel or anything like that. Don't catch too many squirrels this way. You'll pick up the odd flying squirrel and they go in batches. It's like really weird. All of a sudden, boom, they'll be everywhere in your traps. Then you won't see any more for the rest of the season. But thought for sure we'd have a weasel or a marten for sure by now there. It's been about 2 weeks, week and a half since we put these up. So, but we're gonna be off to the wolf bait. Here's our next stop. Sled's running good. Purring like a kitten, nice and warm out. And yeah, see you in a bit. Lots of coyote tracks on the trail there. There was a coyote in the field just before, just sitting there about 200 yards away. Don't have permission there, and I didn't bring a big gun anyway, so just have a little 22 Magnum for dispatch, single shot. But might skidoo around here, take a look at what's going on in my old bait spot here, see if anything's moving through there. But there's lots of poop with fur in it, moose fur, and I don't have a moose bait or any moose meat at my baits, so maybe there's a kill in here somewhere. We'll check it out as we go. Might be hard to see, but there's a sharp-tailed flock that lives here. I always see them. There's probably over a dozen of them. What do we got? 5, 6, 14, 15, 16 of them. It's good to see them making a comeback. They're not too skittish, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare the winter. And here, there's lots of coyote tracks still going on. Looks like some moose tracks walking through. Got my bait just up here, so I'm gonna go check it out. Seen some ravens lift out of the bush here, which I don't like that idea, but we'll see what that's all about. Some mink tracks, looks like they're windswept. This is where I went and checked things out the other day. And my track, this is where all the wolf tracks were. Doesn't look like the wolves have been back around. Not yet so far. Might be something going on up there. And this is some of the spots they leave the creek and get into where snares are. So I've got those snares over there. I'm just gonna go check them out. There's something on the snow there. Not sure what that is, but it's all trampled around, so we'll go check out what that is. Some of the fur that I see in there, there's the coyotes or maybe wolves took some of the hides out and spread them all over close to the bait here, so we're gonna go check that out. We're just playing around here, gonna explore a little bit here and then head over that way. I was hoping to see some moose on the creek or maybe some deer, or see if the wolves made a kill out here. No birds flying up anywhere, don't see any sign of anything, but always have to keep checking. Alright, we're gonna go check our snares over yonder and then the bait. So you can see something was scratching right there, and then that over there is what I was gonna go look at, and I'm not sure what that is. I didn't get close enough because as I was going there, there was a bunch of flood ice, and I realized I had to give her. Good thing the skidoo, it's got good power and nice wide track, because I started back there and I just pinned it there, didn't even look back, just kept going until I felt it get solid. If the sleigh was loaded up, it could have been a different story too, so there you go, you never know. Nothing in that snare and nothing in this snare, so no activity. These were ones we put in just on the wolf trail. Never know if they'll ever come back that way again, but if they did it once, chances are they could do it again. And then just coyotes. I've been walking over there, so time to go check out. Okay, you can see all that disturbance there, just kind of underneath the sun in the snow. That's the ravens playing around, and then a coyote and a couple other animals. I don't know what it is, deer or whatever. I've gone and checked that out. And there's a run that's kind of open. I think they're drinking out of that. And this is where the wolves crossed over 2 times now, right beside these 2 trees. So I'm going to try and sneak in there and just hang a power ram. I'm going to take big steps and hopefully they don't follow it. And something's been walking along the beaver dam here again. We'll see what that is. Probably a deer, kind of looks like. But yeah, see you in there. This is where they come down, they converge here. This is where I want to put my ram. This is a better tree to anchor to. So I'm just gonna anchor there. Got a nice long anchor cable, so go down low here, lay my snare out there and hope for the best. That's all you can do. Everything else is wide open. Like I said, I don't want to keep chasing them down there more, but you can see they've gone over the beaver dam in a couple spots there. Okay, so I was gonna try here because it's a better anchor. Wasn't sure if my cable would hang out that far. And this is what we came up with. The trail's right here. I'm about, I don't know, 2 feet away. Gonna wedge this power ram with the snare hanging out and blended it. Not too bad. We'll see what it looks like from the trail, but it's dead center of where they're coming down. Thought I had a piece of wire in my pocket. I was gonna wire that up, but I was able to balance it. But if we get any snow or anything like that, it'll get knocked down. So next time I come out, or maybe I'll just go back to the sled now and do it upright the first time. But I kind of like it. I want to see what it looks like from the skidoo or up top here and see if it blends in, but I think it looks pretty good from here. We'll sneak out and go the long way around and pop back up. Well, it blends in as good as it can. You can see the snare hanging there. We'll go wire it and call her good. I'm happy with it. All right. Well, there's flood ice all over here, just where the skidoo track is, where it's nice and stiff. But still wonder what that is. I'll have to check her out when she stiffens up. Not sure why it's like that right now, but it is how it is. So we hauled a couple coyote carcasses in. I still have to go back for that elk rib cage. Just looking at what we got. Mainly just coyote tracks here. There's fisher tracks kind of bouncing along the edge. But the snares I have along the front of the slough here, nothing really going on. There's a heavy trail through there. I'll put a snare for a coyote and then a snare where I come in. I'll put one there too just to pay for some fuel. And yeah, so I'm gonna walk the perimeter. This is where we caught the wolf last time. Might be tough to see. You can see other ribbons in there now. So we'll see if we can check them out. And then a few others along here, along this ridge. We'll go kind of check out from the edge of the slough. Nice warm day out. Here's the fisher tracks I was talking about. Looks like a good sized fisher. Goes along there into the bush and then follows the edge of this field or little bluff here. Well, the last couple snares on the trail here, right between there, no activity, and then the next two big poplar, and one just further up. Doesn't look like nothing's there either, so let them sit some more. Soak time. The coyotes there have been coming in the front here, and then there's two trails over there. I'll leave the trails off to the side. I'll just catch them right here and right where I walk in. Other than that, I don't want to make any more disturbance. Let things soak. We'll give it another couple weeks, right? Wolf season goes for quite a while, and they don't get rubbed up nearly as bad as the coyotes do, so we got lots of time with them, and it's fun to take them out as well. Here's that fisher patrolling the edge again, and no moose sign in here. There is some moose tracks further out there, and then I busted some deers out of the bush. They're just enjoying themselves. Nice warm day. What do you think about this? I think that's a nice spot. Should carry on right there. Now I just gotta put one back in the trail where I walk in on to drop the bait and check things out, and then we're good. And voila, there's the other one. Looks pretty good to me. So we'll head home here, load up the Skidoo and go to John's, see what's going there, and then head over to the farm and check a couple coyote snares there and see if wolves they come around there at all. Traveling by Skidoo takes quite a while because you gotta load it, offload it, and all that jazz. The red truck, with the snow conditions now, everything's settled, so I might try and push it just to get into John's there. I can't because there's too long of a road that's not plowed there, but might be able to do something over at the farm a bit more. But anyways, we'll catch you in a bit. Well, looks like every once in a while somebody throws the trapper a bone. So the road's plowed out there where I used to have to skidoo a mile and a bit just to get here, or maybe a bit more. The grader went and leveled it out and made me a good little parking spot, or somebody a parking spot. I'll take it though. All right, we're gonna go over there and see what we can do. See if the wolves come through, coyotes. I put a coyote out in the middle of the field there where the one coyote that got chewed out, it's got 8 there. So see if the birds got on that, call a little bit kind of thing. See if the wolves came through and to check that out. Okay, we're gonna load up and head out. So here we are at John's. Some coyote action here. Thought the wolves would come in, but they haven't yet. So that's what we have for deer. Coyotes made a heavy trail through there. So I know I can sneak around from that side. Put a ram over there. Wham bam. And a wham bam over there. But they go over here. And right there is where usually we're hanging a snare. But that's a little close right now. But we'll walk back and see what's going on. Coyote trail here. Moose tracks on my skidoo tracks on the way in. That's where that coyote was sleeping, but he doesn't look like he's using that anymore. Stink pail there. Actually, it doesn't smell as bad as it normally does. No, I just lied. I just caught a whiff of it now. So maybe I'll go back there and walk around, see where we can hang some wolf snares and coyote snares. I was kind of hoping the wolves would come in and start hitting this hard, show me their trails, and I'd set it up pretty good, but it's not meant to be today. Yeah, nothing really moved, just moose. That was about it. Looks like some of the same trails are being used. So, should be able to hang snares in the same spots. All right. We'll put a little bit of time in here, hang some snares, and move on to the next spot. All right, so gonna slap a wolf snare there. It's high enough off the ground to coyote can duck it unless there's more snow come up. Nice little pinch spot. I planted that stick there. A little bit of a chin lift. Nice solid number 9 wire attached to the snare. Followed cam lock, no kill spring on that one. Although that is best practice. Had a couple snares I got to use up. Over here we're going to put lights out snare with a kill spring like we had last year. And then just off to the left there we're going to put a power ram about 20 yards that way where they kind of circle along. And then we're going to take another power ram, go through the bait, and put it on a good trail there. And then after that, we're going to skidoo the edge of the bush and have 2 spots where the coyotes come out. We'll slap a power ram there, and that's it for now. We'll have to play around. I might go for a little ride there just to see what else is going on. But like I said, nothing's moved here since the last time, and the bait's barely been hit. Right on. We'll carry on and catch you at the next set. Ramo. Another perfect spot. Carry on. Bunch of chickadees checking me out. Just finished hanging the last wolf snare, and I'll go put a ram over on the other side there for coyotes. Just showing you how she blends in. So we got a ram not too far over there. So the coyotes go that way. Ideally the wolves go this way and have that other snare down there about 15 yards on the same trail. So if we catch one, then the other ones will kind of rip by, stick on the trails, and then look for any openings. But all this is pretty thick. But if we do have them come in, they'll show us their trails. Might only get 1 or 2 cracks at these ones, but we'll do what we can. Can't remember how that song goes, but I think it kind of goes like, I think my snare is sexy or something like that. It's a pretty blended in snare right there. Should be good for one. And I think we're done here today. Gonna go check the farm. We're gonna go explore over there. I was thinking the wolves would travel this draw in here with that stink pail, but and the coyotes were here before because I pre-baited this area a couple times, and see some deer here and a couple pigs, I think, and then these other 2 deer we just dropped off not too long ago. But more birds and coyotes, that's about it. And yeah, not a high wolf population here, but when they come through, they clean up and scare things out of the area. Anyways, we'll carry on and see you back at the truck unless we see something exciting. Well, I made it to the pig bait here. Snowmobile. A lot of animals moving there. And at the one bait, if I look over here through the trees, I think you can see some fur. So we're gonna go check all this stuff out. Got some snares over there and some snares over there. So walking past the bait, getting my feet stinky. So it smells just like theirs. And we'll head in. After a quick walk around there, I see that this is where we caught that one coyote that got poked at a little bit. It kind of tipped over a bit, so I'll straighten it back up. But the other snares so far are empty. I have that one over there. That's the one that had the anchor come off. Reset that one, nothing there. So we'll tune this up a little bit and we'll kind of check things out. I see they're on my skidoo trail, and that's one of the things I was worried about, is always they get on your skidoo trail or your truck track and they don't go through the bush. They just stay on the outside. So you have to follow that back and see where they're coming from and then catch them there. Just like at that one spot last year or 2 years ago, where they're coming across the field, they wouldn't stay in the bush. So I had to go snare them there and then they moved back to the main bush. But all right, well, we're going to go that way and see what's going on. And we should get to that coyote here in the next couple of stats. Oh, the pinch spot was here. And the coyote went around, came back and tucked under there. He's well furred, but he's just a dark coyote there. His belly's good. Like no mites there. He did get pecked a little bit in the shoulder by the birds, but that's okay. We're gonna probably tan him up and make something out of him. Yeah, it's died down inside the bush here. Like a lot of these tracks are just old tracks. So we're gonna go around and see where those coyotes are coming from and getting onto my skidoo track. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Too bad that they're not in here, because it looked like a good spot, but just starting this bait here this year. Had other spots in this area, but it was too hard to get in with the truck and keep that open. So I decided just to make one a little bit closer. Okay, we're gonna catch you. So on the skidoo track there, there's barely, can't see where the sleigh was. It's just beat down with coyote tracks. So there's a heavy trail there and a heavy trail there, and then a heavy one here, and then closer to the bait down over there, there's another one. But we want to be further away, so we're going to put our snares in here. I'll put a snare on each one of these heavy trails. At least I think so anyways. Once I go in a little bit, I'm going to see if they all interconnect, and if they do, then I'll just pick a couple better spots. But if they go in and kind of wander on their own a little bit, then each one will get a snare. Because it looks like they're coming out of the bush here, getting on this trail, and then coming into the bait here. So, got to fix that problem. So I walked in the first trail, which is this one here, and I stepped off. And this is what I mean by if they all intertwine. So they're all getting onto this main coyote highway, which closer there's a whole bunch of bird activity on, but there's no bird activity here. And I'm gonna slap my snare right here, the first one. Then I'll go back, get out and go on the next trail, which is packed down just like this. And then put a snare there, and then the one further past that, and then kind of clean up on them that way. because like I said, they're not going into the bush right behind the bait where they first were coming from. Picked up those couple there. That's about it. All right, we're gonna put this one into place. I think that will be a good spot. Just like that. Maybe I'll pull it back a little bit more to the right. But when I stand over, it looks like it's right in the center of the trail. But just from this angle, it looks like it's off a bit. So maybe I'll just reach over and pull it back. And then we're off to the other one. So the next spot is not as heavy as the first one, but the next one's heavier than this. But so I'm going to put my snare right in this little pinch spot right here. And the heavy trail is over by those clump of trees there. I'm going to anchor to this here. And hopefully we catch them going in, and then should be laying around over there somewhere if the plan works out. The other heavy trail is about, 10 yards just up that way. So I'm just going to step in here, hang my snare, and then we'll take a look at the end here. Okay, so I'm just about to walk into this other trail. This one's a lot heavier. There might be some other ones further up. We'll see as we go. But today, once I get this one in, we're going to play a little game together. We're going to see which one is going to catch the coyote first. Maybe we'll have one in all three. Maybe we'll have none. Maybe we'll have 2 out of 3. So I'm going to let you guys comment on which ones you think are going to catch in first. So the furthest one over by the sled straight across there, that'll be 1. This will be 2. And this last one here will be 3. And then next time we come out, I'll bring more power rams and carry on if there's more sign. But today I only have so many power rams, and I want to go put some in another spot if things work out. So again, what do you think? Snare 1, 2, and 3, I'll show you here in a minute. We'll walk in. It's got a good trail, but they all have good sign too. So, all right, we'll show you the setup here. So we tippy-toed our way in here. So the trail goes underneath that leaner there. Comes along here. It's like 1 track, maybe 2 going that way. We're not worried about that right now. Then it comes over here. Then it Y's. Move around the tree. So this is the trail we want to snare off of. And then it T's, and lots of the traffic goes that way and then comes back here. So I want to put my snare right here on this side so it's kind of blind when they're coming back, because I don't think they're in there right now. I think they're going to come from this direction going this way, and then we'll catch them and then go that way. But if they are in there and they come out, it'll be kind of a blind set and kind of catch them as they swing around. Might just take a little stick here, maybe one of these small branches, and just tighten it up so they're come right in. But that's a solid trail. I don't really have to. If I do, it's just to hide the ram from sticking out a little bit. But the snow is fairly deep here, so I can push it down, and I'll get to it and we'll look at it together and see what we can figure out. Okay, so this is what we come up with. I just put it in the snow. It's my right height off the trail. It's centered. I just took this little stick here just to put a leaner there, so it kind of blends that in a little bit. And I'll take a shot from back a little bit. Like, they're not going to really see the ram when they're coming around the corner here. But when they go in, we'll see what it looks like. Like, it stands out because we know it's there, but an animal just traveling along, I don't think it stands out too much. And we're back about, 10 feet. So you can see the snare loops there. Ram's blended in pretty good, but we know where it's at. So I'm happy with that, and we'll see what happens. So again, remember, snare 1, snare 2, snare 3. And I just realized I forgot to put a ribbon in there. So I'll just go over this tree here and put a ribbon. You guys remind me that the ram's in there if I forget. Sounds good? All right. Catch you the next set. Well, this is where we had that one coyote over there, and it dried up on that trail. And then they had that heavy trail here. Looks like the deer's all cleaned up. Let's go check out the snare here. Not much for tracks on top of my skidoo tracks this way. And we'll look in here. And the snare's still there. It looks like there's tracks on the other side. Come up to it. More than there was last time. Let's sneak in there and see what we see. It's the way I go. So I'll show you what I see here. So the coyotes did come in, and then they stopped short about 3 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet of the snare, and then turn around and go back. So they are spotting the heavier cable there, but we'll leave it. Doesn't take long to come check this spot. I'll have to get some more bait, and I'm gonna go to the bait now and just walk it out to see what's going on. And then yeah, not much for tracks here, so the coyotes are living in the bush here too and not leaving it. So I'm probably going to stick a snare in there today, just cause it's beat down hard. Actually looking at it, there is bird tracks that go in there. So I'm gonna check this out, and the bird tracks follow this one too. What the heck, eh? This is where we caught that coyote last time. And we have a bounder here. One jumping through the snow. And some other kind of track on top there. I'm not, maybe a lynx. It's floating on top, but it's kind of erratic for a lynx. Like they're not in line. Kind of weird. All right. I think I'll just come back here with a marten box. Hang a marten box because there's a track or two in here, and I'm going to leave this coyote trail just because the birds are going on it and don't need any more bird damage, and they're close enough there, so they'll find it for sure. So we're going to head over to the last spot of the day. Us and our lonely coyote. Likes to ride anyways. So I'm gonna go check a marten box and then a couple coyote sets, and that's it. Maybe the wolves will come through and we can set up on them out here. But it's pretty quiet for fur all the way around. Well, you can just see the edge of the box and the spring's gone. What do you think it could be? Let's find out. Oh, a squirrel. Darn it. Anyways, he looks like he went up and got caught on his way down. That's what's nice about these boxes. You don't catch squirrels too often, but you catch more weasels. They'll kind of bounce on the triggers, trying to get the bait at the top. And it works good. But in this case, it caught a squirrel. We'll skin them up. We don't waste anything. There, it's all set up again. I checked the bait. It's still good. Still stinky. I'm gonna actually re-lure it a little bit. See if that'll help. But usually when it comes to marten, they're just before Christmas, they kind of go undercover and disappear for a bit until about mid-January. Then they pop up for the last 2 weeks of the season. And sometimes they don't, but it'd be nice if they stayed out all the time. Temperature nice and mild right now. The snow is settling, so they'll be out, and that's why I want to freshen that up. Just get a little bit more scent in the air, and hopefully it comes by. This spot here, I've caught numerous marten through the years. I just haven't really Went after him probably the last 3 or 4 years here, or more than in general. I was just chasing coyotes more, as you guys probably seen there. But it is interesting that I haven't picked any up yet, but no tracks, either the odd weasel track, and that's about it. It's not from over trapping. Okay, we're just coming to one of our snares here. This one I moved back a little bit, so you have to take a couple steps in to check, but let's do that and see. I think I see a dark spot there. No tracks on mine, but yeah, there is some fur here. Nope. Looks like we got ourselves a lynx. The pinch spot was right here, so we'll have to take care of this. Call Fish and Wildlife. Kind of a dark bugger. He came wandering from here, just wherever out there. Came in the snare and got caught. We'll pull him out and take a look at him here. Yeah, a bit of a dark bugger. It's fairly fresh. Its feet aren't froze at all. I was tucked underneath it, so. But there you go. Seems to be lots of lynx last year and this year wandering through the farm area. Like I mentioned before, there are quota species here in Alberta, along with the fisher and the wolverine and the otter, but not really any reason for them to be like that anymore. Kind of the old reasoning was that they were not enough information or at risk kind of thing of being over trapped because the prices were so high. But the prices aren't so high and there's not that many people trapping them anymore, so I don't know, maybe things will change. Okay, we came into the bait here to look things over a little bit, and yeah, we had a whole deer here. That's not it, so we got drug off, I think, over this way, going around the outskirts of this area here. I don't think the coyotes are leaving this block of bush, because all the heavy trails that were coming in before, they're not used. I always leave a couple trails just to be fair to them. So they're using 2 or 3 trails to get in, but they're living in here. They're not leaving it. I picked up that lynx over that way, and there was a couple of one coyote trail over that way, and then one over that way. Can't put a snare, but I'm, like I talk about every year, I think I'm gonna come in here and snare this heavy just to see what I can do in here, catch up on it, and then have a fresh start. Probably not, probably the second last weekend in January I can get to that, because I'm busy here next weekend running around, and then I gotta go check all my stuff through the week next week, and then on the weekend freshen things up. But yeah, curious how many coyotes are living in this bush here. It's interesting. That's what was happening when the wolves were coming through a couple of years ago, when I was catching wolves and I was trying to catch that black one, Blackie, and it ended up catching it just on the trail inside the bush. Like, it never left the bush. There was no wolf tracks in or out for a long time, and I ended up catching her on one of my coyote snares. It was just kind of walking along the edge and then turned into it. So maybe I'll put a link above here, or however that works, and you guys can check that out. But all right, we're off to the house there. Hopefully we get there before it's dark. I got some work to do in the yard. All right, we'll catch you at the house. Oh, when I got home, it was starting to get dark a little bit, so we went in the house and had some supper. Came out to the shop now and unloaded the skidoo a bit there. Little mixed catch. We got that lynx, coyote, and the squirrel. Hopefully next time we pick up some marten and maybe a wolf or 2, or some more coyotes. We put some good coyote snares out Don't forget to choose your one that you're thinking, 1, 2, or 3. Put it in the comments and give me a thumbs up. And we surpassed 10,000 here just the other day of subscribers, so I appreciate that. And we will see you guys on the next one.